Great. And like that recording thing comes on, so you know. And then if you click on this, and then click on View Stream on the top right, this will pop up, and there's like a lag. It takes a little bit of time. And then once this video pops up, you'll see this audio meter going. You want to press mute here. Yeah, just so that, so there's no feedback on the other side.
Cool.
And then here's the same thing. I clicked the lights. I just did this. I don't know what that red flag thing is. So I'm just going to ignore that.
Okay.
And then, so this is all the way off, and then all the way on.
Okay.
And then you can move these around this way. Did you have to use these for your class?
No.
That you taught? Okay.
Well, maybe, but I didn't.
And then I logged on here, and here you can see the list.
Cool.
And then I'll click View Stream once we get into class. There's Jared in the blue. And then so today we're going to do binds. All month long is going to be binds for Ganesh stories. So I'll do a little mini story time in the beginning, and then whatever you want to do. If you want to practice, if you want to walk around, we can switch in the middle, whatever you'd like.
I was going to do some mat time today.
Great, I'll walk around. Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, I need this little clipboard thing. Okay. Strap. Oh, so many things. I never shave my legs, ever. I do it once every like 8 weeks, and I did it today, and it's just like, it's like, how do people do this?
I never do it either, and when I do,
I wanted to do it today because I wanted to go in, I changed my sheets, so I wanted to go in like new sheets and it's just that sensation. But I was like, is it worth it if I'm just bleeding? Okay, this is all done. Hi, good to see you. How are you? Good.
I haven't been to one of your classes in forever.
I
but
know, I'm
like,
glad you're here.
Apparently don't have like a client at 6 o'clock on Tuesdays. So I'm like,
Yes. Okay. I'm miming it. She gave me the number last week and I totally forgot to pass it on to you, but I was like, he's coming, we'll make the connection today. Hello.
I missed you. It's so good to see you. How was your trip?
It was so nice. It was so nice. We're very full today in class. There's 40 people registered, so not everyone is here, and there's going to be room for everyone to fit, but just in case, if you see space next to you, my suggestion might just be scooching a little closer so mats can just slip slide right in. But let's see, there's 4 minutes, so who knows what fleshes itself out, but there's plenty of room, and we'll 100% use a strap today, so if you want to grab one now, or Kayla and I can grab them for you later, and then really all the props, the blanket, nope, no bolster, unless you really want one. I don't have an agenda for one. Blanket, blocks, strap, and then some therapy balls. Hello. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hi, good to see you. Where you want? Come close. Yay, good, okay. Checking the things off my list in the brain. I was like, I need to make this happen. And then things that happen are like, multiple texts came through right when I got on the plane, and I was like, I'm gonna get back to this. And then I was like, I'm on vacation. And then I looked at my phone today, I was like, damn it. You're great. Yeah, perfect there. Oh my goodness. You know, it's wild when you like go away from your job for a week, whatever it may be, and then you come back and you're like, who am I? Hi, Matt. I know. How's it feel? Good, I'm glad. Yes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What do we think? In theory, 12 more. So if you could get an inch or two closer, maybe a mat or two will squeak in. But if not, Kayla and I are going to move around, so there's plenty of room up here, but just in case. Sometimes, you know, you sign up for class and then the good weather hits after work, so who knows what'll happen, but in theory, we'd let them Tetris in. Is it warm, cool enough in here for you guys? You doing okay? It's warm. Thank you so much. Yes. Nice after being inside. I'll do a little fan. Hi, Amy. Hi. Were there a bunch of people downstairs? Or just two? Okay, great. Great, great, great. Yeah, we'll move this one over. This is Rachel from downstairs. Oh. Hi, Sally. Hi. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Okay. All right. Well, as people are getting trickled in, we'll get started. It's so sweet to be with you all. My name, I can't click on things and talk at the same time. Like I have to turn the video on here. I need to be able to do that first. But my name is Anisha, and we're so lucky to have Kale with us each and every week for assisting. So the way that class will be set up today is Kale will be practicing from the mat, so people at home can have a visual of things to look at, things to hear, and then I'll be walking around giving verbal instructions. But if you have any questions about things or things to clarify or anything I say doesn't make sense, please feel free to interrupt me, call me over, ask questions, and I'm more than happy to answer and stop. But billions of announcements. I'll get to those after we practice. But how are we feeling today? Any desires, any needs? Let's make some space for you guys. There's room. I think we might be able to fit one more in here and then one more in the middle, maybe. How's that looking? Sometimes from up here, or up to me they come, closer and closer. There's a spot here, and then perhaps, do you guys mind if you move an inch or two over? Yeah. Marissa? You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're totally good. Here. As long as you don't mind a foot in the camera, I don't mind it. You won't bonk into it. But there's lots of space for us all. September, we made it. The season of Virgo is upon us. Anyone celebrating? Yes. Okay. Other Virgo. Okay, yeah, me too. Beloved Virgos that make the world go round in the best way. But it's also for the whole month of September. It's on September 6th and 7th, which is this week, in a couple days. It's the holiday of the beloved gods of the yogic and Hindu tradition, and he's seen peppered all throughout the studio. Here's a few deities of him here, there's some downstairs, and for those that bonk into the camera like I do, his stuffed animal is there because he's known as the remover of obstacles. So we put him in places where there's things that you might bonk into so that he helps clear the path. So the god's name is, do you want to come up here? There's space right here. Yeah, come on through. His name is Ganesh or Ganpati, and he's the god who has the head of an elephant and the body of a large baby boy. He's often seen with his shirt off, seated cross-legged, big, beautiful belly, surrounded by sweets, because those are his favorite offerings to receive, little modaks. And the reason why he's such a sweet, he has so many stories. So each week, each Tuesday and Monday in class will be a different mythological story about him and how he ties into our practice. But he is known most commonly as the remover of obstacles. So in my family at least, or in folks who I know, we place a little deity or an altar of him, a spot saved for you, a deity or a little altar of him in our car dashboard. So he removes the obstacle of traffic out of the way, which doesn't always happen, but I'll take what I can get. But he is the one who we call upon or ask upon when we begin or embark on a new endeavor. So the story I'll tell you today very quickly before we get started, and it'll tie into our practice. Do you want to come here? Yeah.
I can move down too. So
Either way, up to you. So once upon a time, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, there was a goddess. She was the goddess of the householder. Her name is Parvati. She's one of the goddesses that we see in the most human form. She has 2 arms, 2 legs. She wears plain clothes. And her husband is the great lord of yoga, Shiva, the great destroyer. And he's the one who goes to planets, to universes, to situations, to consume, to destroy, to digest things that aren't serving anyone anymore, not for the sake of destruction, but for the sake of creating new space and new life. So Shiva, also, let me remind you that I tell these stories very, very, very informally. No, take them with a soft grain of coarse salt, because I guarantee you that other folks that you hear telling these stories won't describe them in the way that I do, but if you want more information about them, I can tell you where to find those. But Shiva goes away to do his godly things, to meditate, to be the destroyer, and Parvati, the goddess of the householder, is left in her home taking care of her place. And she realizes after years as Shiva is gone, she's like, I'd like a companion. I'd like a son that would keep me company. And so what she does is she takes clay and a part of her own arm, and from the clay in her arm, she creates Ganesh, Ganpati, a little baby boy. And he grows up, he becomes her protector. She makes him stand in the thresholds of where she's bathing, of the houses, of the thresholds of doorways to protect who's coming in and out. And so years go by, Ganesh grows up, he becomes a tiny child, a human child, and Shiva comes home from war, not knowing who this person is, and not knowing that he's his own son. And so Shiva comes home, and he says, let me through. I don't know who you are. I'm going here to go into my house and wife. And Ganpati's standing there, and he says, I don't know who you are. My task is to not let anyone who I don't know in. My mom is here, and you can't come in. There's no way. And so in a fit of rage, Shiva takes one of his sabers and cuts the little boy's head off. And Parvati comes out of her bath and she goes, what have you done? This is your son. How could you even act with such impunity? How could you act so recklessly? And so very quickly Shiva goes, okay. Let's find some space for you. Maybe right here in the second row, there might be a spot. Plenty of room for you to come in, no rush. So Shiva comes, he goes into the forest and he says, the first creature that I find, I'll take a part of it and create it bring life back to this child. So he finds a baby elephant. And that's how the story of Shiva with the head of an elephant and the large body of a baby boy comes to place. And so why am I telling you this story now? For many reasons. One, it's his birthday. It's the time of his creation. Two, we're doing a lot of binds this month in class. So we'll be binding ourselves up, finding ways in which that we create our own obstacles in our own way, how we wrap ourselves into ourselves to create more space than there was before. And the idea and the message behind it is to be able to find ways in which to remove your own obstacle out of your path. Oftentimes we think there's external forces that are placed in our way, which is true, but Ganesh also says you are your own greatest obstacle. So how can you create more room within yourself? That has always been there, but something needs to clear the way. So, long story short, take breaks, sip lots of water. I'll turn the air on when the air needs to go on because HVAC is not an obstacle that we need to be present with. But I'm really happy you guys are here. The whole month of Ganesh, we'll see where he takes us. On the back of his little mouse, that's the vehicle that he rides on. Does everyone have room? Everyone feel okay with the space that you have? We can also adjust as we start to practice. But let's get started when you're ready in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. You're more than welcome to start lying down. You're more than welcome to start seated and cross-legged. You might sit on your knees or up on props if you'd like. But as you arrive in your seat, let your eyes either close or soften completely to a point. And when we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see ourselves more clearly than before. Let each soft and quiet breath gently dissolve the day that was. Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes a little bit more space for what has yet to come. So with those eyes soft and your attention turned deeply inward, can you begin to notice for your breath? Let each inhale move from the nose, down into your belly, and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very top and crown of your head. Continue with a few more of those breaths at your pace, letting each breath move in, down, and wide, anchoring you to the earth. And each exhale offers itself up and out through every direction. Let's start our time together with 3 more rounds of that same breath. When you're ready, begin to gather your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, on your person, or perhaps in front of your heart in a moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your chest as you lift your heart up into your hands to meet yourself where you are. Wait for the next inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now, keeping that attention as best as you can, let your hands release, gently blink your eyes open. And let's start in tabletop today to link breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. So find your way to all fours. Come onto your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. You might tuck or untuck your toes back behind you. And as you start to round and arch your spine, let's go for 4 or 5 breaths, moving at your pace. Feel free to stay rounded or arched for a few extra breaths. Hi. You might take a few breaths in child's pose, or letting your shoulders go forward over your wrists. But take notice of what it feels like to let your breath and your body begin to harmonize together. Take another slow round of breath in, let it fill you up. And a long, clear exhale out through every fiber of your being. And after a few breaths, make your way back to table. Come onto your hands and your knees. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Walk your knees back behind your hips. And as you tuck all 10 of your toes under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time and as many breaths as you need to find your way there. And as you make your way towards down dog, take what you need here. You might stay still. You might pedal the heels one at a time from side to side. You might soften or straighten your legs. But offer it to your breath. Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out through every fiber of your being. Now at the bottom of your next exhale, lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You might have blocks underneath your hands so the floor comes higher up to meet you. Feel free to walk your feet an inch or two wider apart so your low back and hips can have some extra space. You might even bend your knees a lot until your fingertips tap the ground, but if it feels okay for your head, even slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no, and just let gravity do the work. Now climb your hands up to your hips, stand through your legs, and wait for your inhale to come all the way up to rise as you release your hands. Now on your next breath in with your feet under your hips, take a big breath in to reach the arms forward and up. And on your exhale, soften your knees to fold over your legs. Wait for the inhale as you come up halfway to lengthen, grow long through your spine. And on your exhale, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. With your knees up or down, press the floor away from you. Think tailbone towards your heels and slide the heart forward. Take a big breath in. Exhale to bend your elbows as you lower all the way down to your belly. Wait for the inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra. Really press your feet into the earth. And on your exhale, take it back to down dog or table or puppy pose for 3 steady breaths. Ganesh, that elephant-headed god, the remover of obstacles and the obstacle himself. When you see pictures or iconography of him, yeah, his deity here is very small, but he's a large feature that's often placed in thresholds of doorways to help you notice what it is that you need to step through. So as you pause here in this metaphorical doorway that you've created, can you notice for your breath, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. When you find your next exhale, lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward to come forward to the top of your mat, standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen. Let the balls of your feet be heavy. And exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a long breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky, get taller. And exhale to let the hands come down by your sides. One more time, really follow your breath more than my voice. As you inhale, reach the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. On your exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, plank pose, step it all the way back. Take a full round of breath here. And as you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the inhale to rise, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, take it back to your downward facing dog or tabletop or child's pose. First and foremost, an offering to the breath. So notice and feel. Let each inhale move from the nose into your belly. And on your exhale, push your palms down and forward to lift your hips up and back towards the wall behind you. When you find your next breath, no rush, lift the heels high, soften your knees, look forward to come forward to the top of your mat. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, reach the heart long, and big exhale to fold as you bow into yourself. Take a deep breath in to rise, stand through your legs, reach up, touch the sky. And on your exhale, let the hands come down by your sides. Check to see that your feet are a hip width distance apart. And as you bend your knees, sit your hips back into chair pose. You can bring your palms to your thighs or to your hips, or if you want to add some heat, reach the arms up overhead. But without moving your feet anywhere, can you try and sweep your heels away from each other towards opposite edges of your mat? Feel the outer hips light up. And now guide your knees towards your second and third toes as you take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale, let your hips sit lower to the earth as you lift your heart up to the sky. Take one more breath, fill your belly, fill your chest. Stay for the exhale, and then inhale to rise, stand through the legs, reach up, touch the sky, and on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And now come up onto your fingertips or blocks on either side of that right foot so you can give yourself some space between your right thigh and belly. With your left hand down on the ground, reach your right arm straight ahead towards the wall in front of you, towards the top of your mat. And as you stretch through the right fingertips, tack the right hip back. Get as long as you can through the right side waist. A big breath in here. And on your exhale, let's twist open. Twice more. Big inhale, bow in, reach the right arm forward. Fingertips. One more time. Big inhale, grow long. Twist open to the right, stay forward, reach the right to the sky. Take the right hip back, and can you lean back against yourself? One more breath in. Inhale, unwind, lower the hand, step it forward with all the hops you need so the left foot meets the right. Inhale to come up halfway, grow long. And can you keep that length as you bow in towards yourself? Now check to see that your feet are fist or 2 fist width distance apart. And as you bend your knees and sit your hips back into chair pose, last time, hands to thighs, hands to hips, or overhead. Offer it to your breath. Send the breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, let the hips get heavier to the earth as you lift your heart up to the sky. Now can you slide the ribs back to breathe into the middle of your back? Slide the ears back to lift your chin, and then maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears to broaden through the chest. Inhale to rise, stand tall, bowing into yourself. Left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge. Come up onto those fingertops or high up on blocks on either side of that left foot, like Kale's doing up front. Now with the right hand down, reach the left arm straight ahead towards the wall in front of you. As if someone's holding your left hand, try to reach through the left fingertips, but resist with that left hip. Tack it all the way back. Take a big breath in, and exhale, we twist open to the left. Twice with your breath. Follow your pace more than my voice. Inhale to reach. As you exhale, unfurl yourself open. Take notice of what the shoulder, the wrist, the forearm feels like. And now the third time you twist open to the right, stay for a few breaths. Lift that back thigh higher. Tack your front left hip back. Can you lean back against yourself? Big breath in. Stay for one more exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Lower the hands. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Pedal those heels one at a time. Take notice of anything you feel from side to side. And now inhale through to plank pose. On your exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Watch for neighbors and bring your hands off of your mat onto the floorboards. And now either come up onto your fingertips or your ridge tops so your elbows dart up to the sky. Press your feet down into the floor, and for this very wide-armed cobra, as you inhale, lift up through the heart. Let's take a few extra breaths here. Really press the tops of your feet down into the floor, especially those pinky toes. And now as you press through the fingertips, hug the shoulder blades together to broaden through the chest. Take one more big breath in. And on your exhale, release, lower down to the ground. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, press yourself up and away from the ground, table or plank pose. And on your exhale, we meet in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. That wide-armed cobra, I always like to offer it. I always like to take it in practice, because the more space you give those hands, the more broadness you'll find through the chest and the upper back. So feel free to take it or leave it at any point. But from your down dog, on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the floor, and let's meet an extended side angle. So right forearm to your right thigh. You can bring your left hand to your hip. You can reach it up to the sky or over your ear towards the front of the room. But check to see that the right knee and the toes are pointing straight ahead. And now feel both feet on the ground. Can you try to lift and spread all 10 of your toes and feel where the weight's falling on the feet? Now with the toes lifted and spread, hug your feet together from front to back. Feel those inner thighs light up. Now shrug the shoulders back and lean back against yourself. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend 1 more inch into that right thigh. Now keep your legs steady. Reach the left arm towards the wall behind you. As you inhale, rise for warrior 2 and bend into that front thigh. Now push the right leg straight. Take a big breath in, get long in each direction. Triangle pose, right hand to your block or to the floor. Let's all come to the inside of the right foot today. So as your right hand touches the block or the floor and the left arm reaches up to the sky, feel both feet on the ground again. And now can you squeeze your legs together like you're creating a bubble right in the middle of your mat? As you hug your legs in, push straight down into the right hand and reach the left arm 3 more inches. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Lower the hands to the earth. Bend your right knee. Take it back to downward facing dog. Just a few more times together. As you inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise, maybe that wide-armed cobra or cobra as you lift up through the heart. And on your exhale, we meet again in downward facing dog. Slow down the next breath in. And big exhale to offer the breath out. And let's do the second side. Lift the left leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the floor. Parsvottanasana, left forearm to your left thigh, either right hand to your hip, right arm up to the sky or over your ear towards the front of the room. As you feel your legs against the ground, give them a hug in towards each other. Squeeze the left foot back, the right foot forward. And now push into that left forearm. Can you shrug your left shoulder up and back? Shrug the right shoulder up and back and lean back against yourself. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Bend 1 more inch into that front thigh. And now reach the left arm, right arm back towards the wall behind you like someone's pulling you through the fingertips. Rise, warrior 2, and bend into the front leg. As you inhale, straighten the left knee, get long in each direction. Triangle pose, left fingertips to your block or to the floor, in or outside, actually inside of that front leg. Now as that left hand touches the ground and the right arm reaches to the sky, feel where you're starting from first, the ground beneath you. And can you pull your feet in towards each other? Pull the left foot back, the right foot forward. And as you press down into that left arm, reach the right arm 1 more inch as if you could touch the ceiling fans overhead. Big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Lower the hands to the earth. Plant your palms. We'll meet again in downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. Notice any difference you feel from side to side. And now inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Does everyone have a strap? Does anyone need one? Coming. So find your strap close by. Just place it off to the side like a big jump rope. You may or may not use it, but just nice to have it close. And then come back to lay on your belly. We're doing 2 rounds of locust pose, 1 without a bind and 1 with. Anyone else need one? Great. So come down onto the ground. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Stretch your arms alongside of you and flip your palms down to face the floor. Now feel both legs against the earth. Can you hug your thighs towards each other? They don't have to touch, but feel them hug in. And now shrug your shoulders to your ears as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now on your inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, float your palms up off the earth, and exhale to let the legs lift up and away from the ground. Close or soften your eyes and really listen for your breath. With each inhale, can you hug your inner thighs towards each other? Think inseams of your pants up to the sky to create some space in the low back. And now shoulders to your ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your palms 1 more inch. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, release. Lower all the way down. You can rest on one of your cheeks. You can make a pillow with your hand, rest on your forehead. But soften and close your eyes and really listen for your breath. The more you breathe here into your belly, maybe some space you find in your low back. The more you breathe into your chest, perhaps some space in the upper back. So as we come in for the second round, you can do the same thing again with your arms free, or to add some sensation in the shoulders, grab your strap at your low back, holding it about hip width or wider, or closer, up to you. But let your thumbs face one another as you hold the strap at your tush. Start with your elbows very bent. And now as you hug your shoulder blades together, feel like you're rolling the thumbs away from each other. Now same, as you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, lift your arms up off your tush. And exhale to let the legs lift up and away from the earth. Close or soften your eyes and offer it to your breath. Take a deep breath in as you lift the inner thighs up to the sky. Tug your strap apart to lift your palms 1 more inch. Big breath in. And on your exhale, release. Lower all the way down. Ditch the strap. Rest on one of your cheeks. Rest on your forehead. And listen for your breath. As we move in towards those binds and wrapping ourselves around ourselves, the practice is going to be, where can you find the breath? Ganesha's little vehicle that he rode on the back of was a tiny little mouse. And the mouse, despite its size, was able to get him in and through the most precarious of scenarios, the scenarios he didn't want to be in, like bound locust. And so here, your most powerful weapon, your vehicle, is going to be the fluency of your breath at any given point. So as you come back through center, press yourself up through to tabletop, come to your hands and your knees. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready as you lift your hips to the sky. Take a breath or two in your down dog. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take notice of what you feel and see. And now on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. And on your inhale, come on up to rise for high lunge. Reach the arms, the chest, and the torso to the sky. Feel free to walk that right foot as much as you need over to the right, so you're less on that balance beam. But as you lift that back thigh higher, can you wrap your left hip forward and the right hip back? Now stretch up through the arms, look away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into that front thigh. Hands come to your hips. Let's come to stand. All the hops you need to spring off your left foot. Scoop your left thigh to your chest. And now cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sit your hips back as you reach your chest forward for standing figure 4. Hands can stay on your hips. They can go anywhere that serves your balance. But think butt to the back of the room as you lift your heart up to the sky. Take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale as you offer that breath out. And now inhale to come all the way to rise. Lower the left foot. Reach the arms all the way to the sky. With your right hand. And for standing crescent, tip up and over to the right for a side bend. Your hips might sway off center, over to the right, over to the left. But as you tip to the right, can you slide the ears back to lift your chin so there's space for breath to come through? Big breath in to come all the way back up through center. Reach up to touch the sky. And on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Step your feet to the back of your mat. And bring it back to downward facing dog. Stay right here for a few breaths. Lower your knees to the ground for a few breaths. Or let your breath take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But wherever you go, slow and steady each breath down. And let each exhale be an offering up and out through every fiber of you. When you find your next few breaths, there's no rush. Take your time. Float the left leg up and back. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. And on your inhale, we meet up again in high lunge. Reach up to touch the sky. Walk the left foot again as much as you need to the left. Remove the obstacles out of your way. But as you power up through the back thigh, the steadier the back leg becomes, the steadier the ground underneath you will feel. Reach up through the arms, look away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, maybe bend 1 more inch into that front thigh. Now you can keep your arms overhead or bring them to your hips, but we come to stand. Spring off your right foot, right thigh to the chest, and now right ankle over the left thigh. As you sit your tush back, reach your heart forward for standing figure 4 on the second side. Flex the right pinky toes back like it's standing on solid surface. And as the hips get heavy, take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your heart? Look away from the ground. And now inhale to come all the way to rise. Lower the right foot, reach the arms over to the left for standing crescent on the second side. As you tip to side 2, your hips might move over to the right as you reach to the left, but slide the ears back to lift your chin. Slide the arms back to broaden through the chest. And now inhale to come all the way up through center. Can you get 1 inch taller? Exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk those feet all the way back. Take it back to downward facing dog. And now from your down dog, lower both knees to the ground. Come into tabletop. And see if you can walk your legs as close as you can walk them together. Thighs, knees, feet, ankles to touch. Have your strap close by again. We'll use it in a moment. Tuck all 10 of your toes under. And now sit your tush back onto your heels for thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana. Yeesh. That's it. To alleviate pressure, you can bring a block between your tush and your heels. To alleviate more pressure, you can just stand on your knees, but hold your strap in your right hand like a big jump rope. Reach the right arm all the way to the sky. Bend your right thumb over the top on the back. Your left arm can reach out to the side, your left thumb to the earth. You have the bangle over the strap, your fingertips, your t-shirt. I love holding the strap there because in none of my lifetimes, however many times I come back, apparently Sagittarians only come back 1 more time. Did you hear this? Okay, I've been in a weird internet wormhole, but I just wanted to see if that was proven true. But in any of my lifetimes, never will my hands touch, so a strap is always there. But you want to create some resistance. Try and wrap the right arm towards your right ear, like you're holding a cell phone. Draw your left elbow towards the middle of your spine. And then some resistance. Gently tug your strap or fingers apart as you press your head back into your forearm. Take a big breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale. And then inhale to release the hold of your arms. Rock it back forward to tabletop. Shake out your feet. Roll out your ankles. Give yourself a second to reset. And now you get the choice. You can either do toes tucked under again, or to feel this more in your ankles and the tops of your feet, point your feet back behind you. Squeeze your heels together, and 1 more time, sit your butt back onto your heels, almost like hero's pose. Second side, reach the left arm with the strap up to the sky. Bend your left elbow, give yourself a pat on the back. Now reach your right arm to the side, turn your right thumb to the floor, and as you bend your right elbow, grab the dangly edge of the strap, your shirt, fingertips, anything you reach for. But as you create some resistance, wrap that left elbow towards your ear. Wrap the right elbow towards the middle of your spine. And now tug your strap apart. Create a tiny bit of resistance as you press your head back. Take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Offer that breath out. And then inhale to unwind. Release your arms. Come back forward to table. Get your strap off to the side. We'll use it later. And let's meet in tabletop. All right, for the thighs, you can pad your knees with a blanket if you'd like. But from tabletop, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. We'll be on the knees just for a few more moments. Right foot to the outside of your right hand for that lizard lunge. Come up onto your fingertips or blocks. And now check to see that your left knee is behind your left hip. You might want to walk it back 1 inch or 2. Can you hug your left knee forward, bend your left knee, and lift your left toes up off the floor? Stay here, or with your right hand down, reach your left hand for your left foot, or the strap, or the leg of your pants, or if you're wearing socks, you can grab some socks. But as you hold on to the foot, back your tush up towards the heel. So instead of letting the hips bellow towards the earth, can you back your left butt cheek up towards the heel? Shrug your left shoulder up and back as you lift the heart. Stay here if you want to play with balance. Your right hand can climb up to the right thigh. You might even reach your right hand out and around to hold on to the left foot, like you're giving it a hug. But take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your chest, lift your gaze, and bend 1 more inch into that front thigh? Now inhale to slowly release the hold of your leg. Plant your palms, take it back to tabletop, find your way to your hands and your knees, and a few breaths here to reset. You can stay in stillness, or you might take a few rounds of cat and cow to link breath and movement back together. And we'll go to the second side. When the time comes, left foot to the outside of your left hand, lizard lunge. I like to be on blocks so the floor comes nice and high to meet me. You can be on your fingertips. But with your right knee back behind your right hip, hug your right knee forward, bend your back knee to lift the back toes up, and reach your right hand around for the foot, the strap, the leg of your pants. And now there's a few ways to do it. There's the one where your hips really drop towards that left heel. But for this one, can you back your butt up towards the right heel? Even look at your belly to back the tush up. And now as you bring right butt cheek to right heel, shrug the shoulders up and back. Stay here. Maybe the left hand climbs up to the left thigh. Maybe it reaches out and around to hold on to the right foot. As you take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Lift your heart. Look away from the ground and let the front thigh get heavier to the earth. Now inhale to release the hold of your leg. Plant your palms, take it back to table. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready as you lift your hips up and back to the wall behind you. Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Tiny bend in your knees, and 1 palm at a time, walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Tiny bend in your knees. Let the fingertips be heavy. You can bring your hands to the floor or blocks or catch opposite elbows. But with your feet very wide, the knees soft, let your head be heavy. Take a big breath in and exhale to offer all of that breath out. And now hands climb up to your hips. Stand through your legs and an inhale to come all the way to rise. As you release your hands. Obstacle of sweat, drink some water, take a breath, anything that you need. We're going to bind. If we haven't already, we're going to do 1,000,000,001, just 3. Not 1,000,000,001, just 3 different binds. So the first one we'll explore, I'm going to talk you through all of them with the strap, and there's plenty of variations. The first one we'll explore is Malasana, or that low yogic squat, and adding a bind with 1 or both arms. So what it'll look like, Kale, can I talk you through it? So Kale will demo while you guys catch your breath for a moment. The feet will come hip-width distance apart. Toes can turn forward. I like to turn my toes out because that's the way my knees go. But as she bends her knees and sits her hips back, comes into that squat. Now you're more than welcome to slide a block underneath your tush. This will help support the muscles in the pelvic floor. It'll help you find lots of length through the spine instead of being here, yeah, with the tail tucked up. Oh God, how do I get up? Okay, instead of the tail being tucked under. And so now what Kale's gonna do is grab the strap in one hand, whichever hand she chooses, and reach that arm up towards the sky. Now that bottom arm comes to create some resistance into the arm and knee, and like we did in that shoulder stretch, the palm turns back, you bend the elbow, and bring the hand to your low back. And now we pretend like you have a little friend here, and the strap can come around. You'll be able to adjust it. And you can keep one hand free, or this hand can catch the dangly edge of the strap closer towards the thigh. So instead of in the tush, it's closer towards the thigh. And then tug the strap apart, and the belly starts to spin away towards the right, away from that leg, open to the sky. Yeah? Malasana with a bind. And then we'll do the other side, and we'll come out. Yeah? Yes. Come on now. This hand, behind the knee. Whatever this is. This is in front of the knee, and then this is catching off to the side or slightly behind the knee. Yeah, let's try it the first side and see what happens, because we're going to do this bind again. So, feet nice and wide. Bend your knees, sit your hips low. Check to see that your heels are on the ground. If your heels come up, Either widen your feet or slide a rolled up blanket underneath your heels. Now, as you bend your knees and sit your hips back, keep your right fingertips on the ground on the inside of your right knee. Hold the strap in your left hand and reach your left arm up to the sky. It's going to be a little lasso work. I'm right here. Turn your left palm to face the wall behind you. Bend your left elbow at the strap and let your left hand come to your low back or towards your right butt cheek. And now maybe the strap is there that your right hand can reach around in front of the right leg and grab the dangly edge of the strap. That's it. Perfect. And now once you hold the strap or your fingers, check to see are your knees knocking in. Guide your knees open, tug your strap apart, and from your belly, turn your chest to the left, away from that right thigh. Take a deep breath in, stay for the exhale, and then on your inhale, slowly release the hold of your hands, plant your palms, straighten your legs, and extend your tush up and back to the sky. Good. You might lean a little from side to side. You might pedal the heels, take what you need, and we have one more side to do. So maybe your feet come wider or narrower, but with your toes turned slightly out, Malasana, bend your knees one more time, sit your hips back and down onto the block or hovering. Now with your left hand down on the ground, on the inside of your left thigh, reach your right arm to the sky with the strap. Turn your right palm to the wall behind you, and now bend your right elbow to pat yourself on your low back, near your left butt cheek. The dangly edge of the strap might be there as your left hand holds the strap behind that left thigh. And now tug your strap or tug your fingers apart as you turn your belly from left to right. Guide your knees open towards your second and third toes. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Release the strap. Lower your hands. Turn the toes forward. Straighten your knees as you lift your hips to the sky. All right, we're going to waddle our way back to downward facing dog. So however you find your way there, make your way to your down dog. Pedal your heels from side to side. Take a breath or two to notice what you feel and see. And now from your down dog, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the earth. And for warrior two, inhale arms to a T as you face the long edge of your mat. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Bend one more inch into that front leg. Now extended side angle, right forearm to the right thigh. Reach your left arm towards the sky instead of overhead. Turn your left palm towards the wall behind you. Bend your left elbow and either bring your left hand to your hip or let your left hand come to your low back or towards that right butt cheek for the half bind. Shrug the top shoulder up and back and lean back against yourself. Take a big breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Okay, we'll come to half moon with the half bind. You can always bring your left hand to your hip, but look down to the floor to see where you're going. Bring your right hand forward, and as you heel toe your left foot, the back foot towards the front of your mat, lean into your right hand or a block and lift the left leg up off the ground. As you lift the left foot, straighten the left knee and flex that left foot. Reach the left heel back towards the wall behind you. Slide the heart forward towards your friend in front as you take a deeper breath in. Stay for the exhale, and then soften your right standing knee just enough to tap it back to warrior, to extended side angle. Big inhale to unwind to warrior two. Just hit the reverse button and then plant your palms on the earth and take it back to downward facing dog. I threw that one in on you. You okay? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Great. If there are, here, let's do the second side. Lift the left leg up. Step it through to catch your lunge. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 2, second side. Feel both feet on the ground. Take a breath or two to steady yourself. As you take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Look away from the ground. Reach out through the fingertips and bend into the front thigh. Now left forearm to left thigh. Reach the right arm straight up to the sky. Palm toward the flat wall behind you. And as you bend your right elbow, bring the back of your hand to your low back. Or right hand to your hip for the half bind. Shrug that right shoulder up and back. Shrug the left shoulder up and back and lean back against yourself. Now look down to the floor, see where you're going. Bring your left hand to a block or way far out in front of you. And as you heel toe your right foot forward, walk it forward, lean into your left fingertips or the block to lift the right leg up. It's less about how high the right leg can be, but can you activate it? Flex the foot, straighten the right knee, reach back through the right heel, and think bottom of your heart forward towards the wall in front of you. Big breath in. Stay for your exhale, and then soften the left knee just enough to step it back to extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Big inhale to rise, warrior two, arms to a T, bend into the front thigh. And now bring your hands to the earth and take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Stay right here and breathe. You can let your knees come to the ground and take a few breaths there. Your breath can take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But wherever you go, moving around or staying still, let it be an offering to your breath first and foremost. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Okay. When you find your way back, let's all meet in tabletop. Sit back onto your heels, sip a little bit more water, take anything that you need. All right, last of the few binds. We're going to combine a few things that we've done together and maybe a little balance. So we'll take it towards a version. We did the half bound extended side angle into the half bound half moon. We're going to explore the same orientation, but just go on the other leg. Bird of paradise. Do you mind if I show it? Sometimes like talking you through it, I'm going to get confused with rights and lefts. Okay, similarly to what we've done, the metaphor behind binds is that the idea is that you're physically creating restraints around yourself. You're wrapping yourself to make yourself, your physical body, smaller. And the idea is how can you bind yourself so exquisitely that you can create more space than there might not have been before. So the strap is going to be a great resource to use as we start to work our way through. So similar to what we've done, we come to extended side angle. This top arm, I'm going to use the strap, comes to the low back. Now you'll see the dangly edge of the strap will come behind your thigh. You can bow in to grab said dangly edge of strap. And now pro tip that I give you on the first side, sometimes I give it to you on the second side, but it inevitably happens, and the only unflattering way to show this is the back view, is sometimes we come here, which is not going to feel great. So give yourself slack on the strap to bring it more towards the thigh, yeah? Less about how close your hands can be, but more how much space can you find through the chest. That's what we're seeking. So this is where you can stay, both feet on the ground, or the next step, if you want to play with some balance, is you heel toe the back foot until you want to hop it towards the front, like we did in that bind in the squat. Now you lean into one foot, lift the heel, and then maybe you come up to stand. Maybe you bring these legs towards each other, or the shoulder blades together. Completely optional is to straighten the leg and turn away from the foot. This. Same in the legs. Same in the legs. Very different because you're balancing on one foot. So the idea of what I want you to think of is using the strap or using your bind to create opening through the chest. If you want more space, take up more space. It'll give you room to kind of get out of your own way. We'll do one side, and then we'll do the other. Yeah? Lots of bus stops of things to explore. You can also sit and observe. You can be in child's pose. You can lay on your belly. Take anything that you need, and we'll start to wind our way down after this. Questions? Great. Okay, your turn. So have your strap close by. You might use it, and let's meet in downward facing dog. You know, it took me 8 years of teaching this pose to realize bird of paradise is a flower. I thought, a bird. Yeah, I've seen them around everywhere, but who did that? I need names. So from your down dog, float the right leg up and back, step it through to lunge, pivot your back heel to the floor, And come up with your strap to warrior two. So use your strap in your left hand as you rise. Right forearm to the right thigh. Reach your left arm with or without the strap up to the sky. And now turn your left palm towards the brick wall behind you. And as you bend your left elbow, bring the back of your left hand to your low back so the strap dangles behind your right thigh. Now look down if you need. Grab the dangly edge of the strap with your right hand, less towards your groin, more towards the middle of the thigh. And now tug your strap apart and lean back for full bound extended side angle. Now, if you want to go into this balance variation, look down to the floor, see where you're going. Start to heel toe that left back foot to the front of your mat until you take a hop. So feet come hip distance apart. Lean into your left foot. Lift your right heel like a little peacock. And now as you lift the right heel, tug the strap apart, and from your belly, come up to rise. Tug the strap apart, hug the shoulder blades together. Maybe the right knee stays bent, or you straighten your right leg to the right, and you look to the left, over the left leg. When you don't want to do it anymore, many ways to get out. You can just ditch the strap, or bend your right knee and unfurl yourself into a forward fold. Nice. Nice. Questions? Surprises? Love mail? Hate mail? I keep forgetting I'm like face in camera when I stand in front of this. Everyone okay? Okay. Side two. When you're ready, take your time to find your way back to downward facing dog. We'll build it from the ground up. How to bind yourself to yourself in order to create more space than there was, to clear your own path. So as you wait for the next inhale and float the left leg up and back, step it forward to catch your lunge. Inhale to rise for warrior two with the strap in that left hand if you liked, right hand if you liked it. Now reach the right arm up to the sky, bend your left elbow to bring it onto your left thigh. Palm to the wall behind you. And as you bend your right elbow, let the back of your hand come towards your low back. The dangly edge of the strap will come behind your left thigh. You can look down to see, and your right arm can reach in front. Nice, if you can, bring this hand this way. Yeah, that's it. Now stay for a breath. Tug your strap apart. Slide the shoulders back. Can you lean back, maybe giving yourself more slack on your strap? Now watch if the strap is in your groin. Give yourself enough slack so it's closer to the middle of your left thigh. Look down. Heel toe that back foot forward until you hop the right foot to your left. Now lean into the right foot. Lift your left heel. And as you stand through the right leg, belly and ribs back, shoulder blades together, maybe the left foot lifts up off the ground. Perhaps you keep the left knee bent, or you straighten the left foot to the left, flex the foot, and peek to the right for the bird of paradise flower. Big breath in. And on your exhale, when you're ready, release and come all the way out. Let's meet in that forward fold as you bow in towards yourself. Take your time. Beautiful. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to the back of your mat to take it to down dog one final time. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take a breath or two to notice what you feel and see. And now we'll meet on our backs. You can get there however you'd like. You can lower your knees to flip over or move through a vinyasa, but let's do heads to the front of the room, feet to the wall behind you. Have one of your blocks close by, and have one of your pack of therapy balls close by, because I can bring those to you too. Come in. So once you come to lie on your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the ground. Bring your feet, come in, I'll come around. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. And with your hands on either side of you need some? With your hands on your person or alongside of you, just start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, letting the belly, the hips be very soft. If anyone needs therapy balls, I can bring some around. Can you go at tempo? Was that a hand? Can you go at tempo with your breath? So each inhale, draw the knees up through center. And each exhale, let the knees drop over to one side. Now the next time you drop, bring your knees back up through the middle. Bring both feet onto the ground. Bend your knees, find your block, and for a few breaths in supported bridge pose, press down and forward through your feet to lift your hips up, and slide that block to its lowest or second lowest height underneath your tush. If you want to come up higher, I suggest stacking both blocks one on top of each other, just for it's more stable and more surface area underneath your tush. But slow down your breath. Can you shrug your shoulders to your ears? Wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another. And gently press the back of your head down into the ground to lift your chin away from your chest so there's space for breath to come through. 5 deep breaths. Can you call yourself back to that vehicle of yours, your greatest tool of clearing the own obstacles out of your way? With each inhale, let it move from the nose, past your belly, into the depths of your being. And each exhale, offer the breath up and out through every direction of you. Take another few breaths at your pace. And when you're ready, press through your feet just enough to lift your hips and slide those blocks out from underneath your tush as you lower your hips to the ground. Locate your therapy balls. I'm going to talk us through therapy balls in the upper back. If there's any other region that you know, you need some? Come in. If there's any other region that you know or that you prefer, you're more than welcome to take this time to work at your pace, anytime. But feel free to keep them in their tote or take them out, up to you. But lift your head and shoulders up off the ground just enough to pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades from the upper back to either side of your spine. That's it. And no wrong place for them to go. If it feels awkward or strange once you're down there, and you want a hand to move them around, please feel free to call me over. But once you find a place you can be curious about, let your head come onto the earth. Or to alleviate pressure, you can bring your head up onto a block like a pillow. But with your arms alongside of you or on your person, really listen for your breath. Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out. You can stay right here with your arms. There's so much to do in stillness. Or to explore some gentle movement, perhaps you reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Palms facing each other, arms heavy. You might stretch your fingertips 1 or 2 more inches as if you could touch the lights above you. And then soften your shoulder blades towards each other. Feel the upper back settle. Take that twice more if your arms are overhead. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Deepen your next breath in. And lengthen the next exhale out. And then after a few breaths, lower your arms down along either side of you. You can stay here, or to find 2 more places as you press through your feet, roll your body a few inches towards your head until those therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades, slightly lower than where they just were. Head on a block or head on the earth, but offer it to your breath. Take a deeper breath in through the nose, and even open your mouth to let all of that breath go. Ganesh, for his formidable size, he rode around on the back of that tiny little mouse, his vehicle. And as yogis, your vehicle here is the fluency of your breath to get you through, around the seemingly most precarious scenarios, like therapy balls in the upper back. can keep your arms heavy exactly as they are, breathing full and steady. Or you might reach your arms up towards the sky once again, and just watching for neighbors and props around you. Perhaps the left arm stays reaching to the sky as the right arm reaches overhead towards the top of your mat. And then the right arm reaches back up through center as the left arm reaches overhead. Continue at your pace, moving as slowly as you can, with the full depth of your breath, in through the nose and all the way out through the nose or mouth. Now, after a few breaths here, release your arms down by your sides. Stay, or for one more place, press through your feet and roll your body a few more inches north until those therapy balls come south to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Head on the floor or head on a block, but as you take a deep breath in, open your mouth to let all of that breath go. Stay right here, or you might reach your arms to the sky once again and give yourself a hug, as if your hands are reaching for the therapy balls behind your back. But let the palms be heavy, let the fingertips be heavy, as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. If you have one arm wrapped on top of the other, just switch which elbow is on top. See what that feels like. And then slowly begin to unravel your arms. We'll make the same exit journey out. You can release any blocks out from underneath you if you're there. And begin to move your hips towards your heels so the therapy balls come up your back. You can also roll over to one side to push them all the way out. But however they exit, do let them fully exit for the remainder of our rest. For sometimes they create more tension and softness if they stay for Shavasana. But the next place we'll meet is in rest. So give yourself a few moments to get as comfortable as you possibly can. Feel free to add or remove any layers or props. You can let your hair down, let your glasses set safely off to the side. A blanket over your thighs or your hips to help steady you into the earth, create some weight. Or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees to let the low back soften to the ground. But as you drape yourself onto the earth, with your eyes either softly closed or opened, can you turn towards your breath? Bless you. I'll talk you through a few rounds of pranayama, of some breath work, to prepare the body for rest. You're more than welcome to simply listen, but I really invite you to follow along at your own pace. For this equal part breath, samavriti, you'll start by taking a breath in through the nose to fill your belly up into your heart, and exhale through the nose to let all of that breath go. Take that the same way. Fill the belly, the heart, the crown of your head. And on your exhale, offer all of that breath out. Now let your next few breaths be in 4 separate counts. As you inhale, fill the belly, the lungs, the heart. Pause and exhale for 4 counts, emptying heart, lungs, and belly. Hold for a moment at the bottom and begin again. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adding pauses between. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Following your pace, more than my voice. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 1. Without any counts or pauses, take a breath to fill your belly, your chest, your throat, the crown of your head, and exhale through the nose or parted lips to offer that breath out. Let each round of breath that you take dissolve the practice that was. Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after, make space for what has yet to come. Can you let each round of your breath settle you further into the earth beneath? And the heavier you become, the more spacious you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down and wide. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let the breath that you have begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in and the being that you are, with any movement that feels sweet to you. You might start with rolling wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from side to side, heavy against the earth. Or just watching for neighbors and props around you. Perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But whenever the time comes, we'll all meet with the knees bent, arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. You can take a breath or two here, and when the time comes, push down into the ground to rise to a tall seat the same way we began. With those eyes once again softly closed or softly open, take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And exhale to offer the breath up and out. We'll finish our time here with each other with one more of those same breaths. You can place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you as you take a deep breath in to let it all go. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands to your head in such a simple and sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside with you. And Kale and I bow to each and every single one of you all. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you. Drink lots of water, enjoy this weather. While you're setting up, there's some wipes here if you used anything from the studio that you'd like to clean off. So many announcements. Every Saturday now at the Art Museum, I'll be teaching a free class from 9 to 10 behind the Art Museum every Saturday of September. If that's your thing, or if you know people who would like that, I'd love to see familiar faces. I know all month we're doing Ganesh stories, little tidbits, but this Sunday I'll be doing a little evening story time of all Ganesh stories, the origin, the history, a little bit of a long form story session. We did a lot of these in the pandemic when on virtually, where we were all like, what's happening? Can someone just read me a story? And it was very sweet. So if you're free or if you know anyone who'd be interested, that's on Sunday. And then my beloved Adriana and I are starting immersion and teacher training at the end of September. Back to school, baby. But recreational, school that you want to be in. Not saying that we don't want to be in school, but you know, it's a fun thing to be a part of. But if you have questions about it, please find me, Adriana, anyone here. We'd love to chat about it. And I believe that's all I remember. What else is going on with y'all? Any announcements? Things in your worlds, your lives? Keyshawn's here.
I'm here. I have a vintage store around the corner. More vintage archive. On Friday, we're going to have like a first Friday with a DJ.
Ooh.
It should be fun. It'll be DJ Lish, who's a
Yeah.
DJ. And then next Thursday, I'm doing a reading for a poetry zine that I just produced, Ulysses, and I guess Kensington.
Yay. And that's more vintage archive Instagram that we can find all that on. Yay. Such pretty things in that store. Fringe Arts is happening. All month. Are you guys in it? Are you going to shows? Are there things? A lot of your friends are in them, are going. Well, if you have any ones to go check it, I feel like there's so many to see, and I can't. Oh. Whoa. Fun. What's it called? Can I Google it? Okay. Nicole Canuso. Why does that name sound so familiar? She's a dancer, been around in the city for a long time. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. Good night. Yeah. Yes, let me turn this off for a moment. You might even be able to ask Kale.